यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्रणायान साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतम् धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. The epic tale of Mahabharata is one that is engraved in the hearts of all. From big to small, the legacy has passed on. Be it Sanjaya narrating it to Dhritarashtra, or Vedyas enriching Lord Ganesh with the epic folklore, or our elders inspiring us with the heroic deeds of the Pandavas at Vivasvan. Today is yet another story, of which the praise singers still extol the memory, enacted in a poetic form. The Kuru dynasty taken aback by storm. A modern retelling of the biggest battle ever fought. Between brothers, the biggest distraught. In the historic land of Kurukshetra, one which instills fear in the entire spectrum. The battle between dharma and adharma. The battle between right and wrong. Between good and evil. The struggle for vengeance. The fight for justice. The battle between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. The Mahabharata, penned by Carol Satyamurthy.
What is it, my dear? Why does this sadness in you appear?
It is, my elder brother, sir. A conflict is up in stir. His unkind manner towards my friend is something that must end. But how can I, his own blood, stand up to him, even though his pot of sins are filled to the brim?
We understand your difficulty. Your brother did act indecently. Come with us. Bring your brother as well, for we have a tale to tell. The epic instilled in the hearts of all, the biggest battle among brothers, the mighty fall. As morning broke on the opening day of war, the rising sun streaked the sky with scarlet. The heat slowly burned off the mist that hung over the plain. The opposing armies, division upon division, stretched away as far as the eye followed the curving earth. All was brilliant. The chariots of the princes and all the royal allies were resplendent with noble banners, each with its own emblem. One king's standard carried a scarlet bull, another a boar on a cloth of silver, others bright flowers, stars, eagles, comets, the sight too dazzling to be taken in. Some kings were riding in the chariots, others on spirited horses, proudly wheeling. So much armor on men. The flashing gold and bronze rivaled the sun. The close-packed troops and beasts, constantly moving, glittered like a river thick with fish.
Both armies were terrible, both beautiful. In both, men's hearts were filled with joy and pride at being part of it. This huge event, this grand spectacle, this sacrifice, this, the well-trained warrior's highest calling of fear, suffering, and grief would follow later. The two armies facing one another, one east, one west, with 10,000 conches blaring out in challenge. The din of cymbals and the deep, heart-stopping throb of war drums. Arjuna said to Krishna, his charioteer,
"Guide me into no man's land, so I can see, before the battle starts, the faces of the enemies I must kill."
Krishna did what Arjuna asked of him. And there, with every soldier tense and ready, with every horse straining at its yoke, there, in the moment before hell's unleashing, with each blade whetted, every weapon honed, there, in the moment when the frenzy of preparation is over, and the din of death not yet begun, there, at that point, in the relentless passage of events, time freezes.
Arjuna sinks down in despair. His warrior's heart has failed him. His eyes stream with tears. His limbs tremble. The bow Gandiv drops from his nerveless hand. The world holds its breath. For Karna, Kunti, for his brothers, for Krishna, for each differently, Arjuna is the point. He is the mainspring of the action. He is the hero on whom all the hopes of the Pandavas are pinned. The obstacle above all others, the son of Dhritarashtra, sees us blocking his road to victory.
Arjuna has fought scores of bloody battles, exulting at the slaughter of enemies, threshing them like standing stooks of grain, without regret, never looking back. He is the supreme Kshatriya. The whole effort of his life is geared to heroism and glorious victory. But now he is unraveled by distress. He gazes at the rank on rank of kinsmen. They are so familiar, human. How to make them stranger to him than strangers? Death takes on new weight, sharper meaning. Whether this war brings victory or defeat, there will be no occasion for rejoicing.
Striking his brow, he cries aloud to Krishna,
"I will not fight. A Kshatriya enters battle to preserve dharma. But how can it be right to kill our kinsmen? To coldly slaughter those who have nurtured, taught, and grown with us? There is Drona, our dear teacher. Bhishma, beloved grandfather to all of us.
विधि का ये कैसा ये कैसी दुविधा है, कैसी ये विपदा है, ये धर्म है या बलिदान है। अपने ही अपनों के सुख लेके दुख देने, अधर्म है ये या विधान है। ये कैसी दुविधा है, कैसी ये विपदा है, ये धर्म है बलिदान है। अपने ही अपनों के सुख लेके दुख देते, अधर्म है ये या विधान है। एक माँ की संताने, भाई दो अनजाने, जीवन की ये कैसी प्रथा है। अपने ही अपनों के सुख दुख के साथी हो, कर्म तो यही महान है। एक माँ की संताने, भाई दो अनजाने, जीवन की ये कैसी प्रथा है। अपने ही अपनों के सुख दुख के साथी हो, कर्म तो यही महान है। एक माँ की संताने, भाई दो अनजाने, रिश्तों की ये कैसी व्यथा है। अपने ही अपनों के बन बैठे दुश्मन है, विधि का ये कैसा विधान है।
Bhishma's inner soul speaks.
How can I draw my weapons against my dear Pandu Putras? They who have stood by dharma, fighting for justice has been their mantra. I don't want to fight, but am chained to the throne of Hastinapur. The day Panchali was humiliated, I sat back and committed this huge act of adharma. Maybe my silence has served me this karma.
He looks so serene, full of resolve. Has he not imagined how it will be to aim his arrows at the hearts of those joined to him by blood, who once were children gathered round, enraptured by his stories? Look at all our cousins standing there, sick with greed and anger. But Krishna, even though they are blind to their own evil, even though they are desperate to kill us, how can we, who know dharma, do the same? I feel already the familiar heft of Gandhivs flexing to dispatch death are those I should protect. My kin, how can I cut them down as though they were rank weeds?
Krishna smiles as at a foolish child.
Son of Kunti, your doubts sound honorable, but they spring from profound misunderstanding. You speak as if this life were all there is, but it is just one brief embodiment of the eternal soul, the indestructible. Bodies are born, they flourish, age and die, but the soul, the part of that greater spirit that infuses everything that exists, was never born and cannot be killed. From the perspective of eternal time, the undivided, everlasting present, those men you see lined up, eager for battle, full of the beauty of their youth and strength, are dead already. The bodies which have known cold and heat, the bodies which have known pleasure and suffering, already carry death and decomposition in their bones. You need to understand, Arjuna, that in this life, nothing is permanent. Nothing can be held or truly owned. The individual I, a person clings to the ego with a sense of past and future, furnished with intentions and memories, is simply an illusion. There is only an infinite procession of present moments. Time is the present, to be experienced, enjoyed, endured, misery and pleasure equally. Beings have mysterious origins. They emerge into the light, then disappear into the shadows. Why should this cause grief? Remember, Parth, remember, when Draupadi, the princess of Panchal, the rightful queen of Hastinapur, was dragged to the court, pulled off her hair by Dushyasan. The entire court of Hastinapur stood still when she was humiliated and was ordered to disrobe. Not even a single soul had the courage to stop this act of adharma. Not your dear teacher Drona, nor your mighty Mahamahim Bhishma. Doesn't your blood boil, Arjuna? Don't you desire vengeance? Don't you seek justice? Within the framework of a single life, each individual has their dharma. The path of right action they should follow, depending on the station they occupy. Your dharma is to fight. That is your purpose. You were born for this, and it is for this the praise singers will extol your memory long after you're dead. Think to refuse would lead to deep disgrace. People would say, what could be more miserable than that for a Kshatriya? Fight as a warrior should, and you cannot lose. Either you're killed and go to heaven, or win and enjoy the kingdom. So, get to your feet, scourge your enemies, gather your strength, Arjuna, and fight
sages. That is it, my dear. I hope you have answered all your doubts and clear. For now, I think you have a maths lesson and you have to be there.